Okay, I hope you're all enjoying the finance questions. Here's another one. Question 8 from the 2018 exam. A couple has borrowed $320,000 from a bank to buy their first house. The term of the loan is 30 years. Interest rate is 4.5%, and interest is compounded weekly. It says to calculate the couple's weekly repayment. So here, our value of n, or the number of periods of this loan, will be 30 years times 52, because there's 52 payments per year. The interest rate is 4.5%. Present value is the amount they borrowed, so $320,000. The PMT is what we're trying to work out here. What's that regular or weekly repayment? Future value, they want to pay it off completely, so set that to 0. Payments per year are 52, and compound periods per year is also 52. So based on that, what is our PMT going to be? All right. In our graphics calculator, just put those values in. So 30 years of weekly payments works out to be 1,560 repayments, an interest rate of 4.5%, present value of 320,000. PMT is what we're trying to solve for. Future value is 0. PY and CY are both 52. So based on that, what is the PMT? Works out to be $373, and rounding up to the next cent, 92 cents. So they need to make weekly payments of $373.92. It says to show that the couple's outstanding debt after the first 5 years will be approximately $291,700. So based on the weekly payments of that, for 5 years, how much do they still owe? So what would the future value be? So a few ways of doing this. You can use the amortization function. I'm going to show you how to do it just within the compound interest section here. So now we're setting n to 5 times 52, because we're just making 5 years of payments to work out what's still left on the loan. Interest rate remains the same at 4.5%. Future value remains the same at present value remains the same at $320,000. PMT, we're just going to clean that up to 2 decimal places. So remember, it's an outgoing, so minus $373.92. Okay. The future value is what we're trying to solve for here. Okay, so we can just leave that. PY and CY will both remain at 52. All right, so how much is left on the loan after 5 years of payments? So future value will be $291,731.99, rounding up to the next cent. Okay, after the first 5 years, the couple inherits $10,000. So they deposit this money into an offset account that is attached to their home loan. So that offsets the amount of interest they have to pay on their loan. Show that it will take approximately 1,220 weeks for the couple to pay off the outstanding debt if they keep the $10,000 in the offset account until the end of the loan. All right, so in our compound interest section here, we're just going to work out the value of n. That's what we're solving for. We're assuming the interest rate remains the same at 4.5%. The present value is now, so we're 5 years into the loan, and they still owe $291,731.99, but they're not being charged interest on $10,000 of that. So I'm going to remove $10,000 from that. So let's put that in. So it's actually $281,731.99 that they're being charged interest on now. PMT, we're assuming that remains the same at $373.92. Future value here we want to set to 0, because we want to find out how long it takes to completely pay it off now, with PY and CY again remaining at 52, or weekly. So based on that, how many weeks is it going to take? Okay, so n is now equal to approximately 1,220.37 weeks. Okay, all right. The next part says to find the approximate amount of interest that the couple will save by using the offset account. So in this type of question, you want to work out the total cost for each option. So with no offset, they were making weekly payments for 30 years. So 30 times 52 of $373.92. Okay, so that's the total cost with no offset. With the offset, they were making obviously the 1,220.37 payments plus the payments for the first 5 years. Okay, so five times 52 works out to be $260. 260 weeks. So we're doing 260 weeks. Okay, which is the first 5 years plus 1,220.37 weeks, multiplying that by the weekly amount of 373.92. Okay, but the total cost also takes into consideration the $10,000 that they still need to pay that's in their offset account. So we're going to add that $10,000 to that total cost with the offset option. Okay, the difference between these two amounts will be the amount of interest that they save, and obviously you would assume that with the offset account that's going to be the lower total cost. So that will obviously be the option that saves them interest. So based on that, let's head into the run function and do these calculations. It's 30 times 52 times 373.92, okay, which gives us a total cost with no offset account of $583,315.20. With the offset account, okay, it works out to be, so it's 260 plus our 1,220.37 payments of 373.92. Okay, now we're going to add obviously the $10,000 to that cost of the loan, which gives us a total cost of that loan to be $563,539.96. Again, we're going to round that up. So the difference between this amount and this amount is the amount of interest that they save. So interest saved is equal to 5,833.15.2, take 563,539.96. Okay, so let's work out how much interest they would save with the offset account. So 5,833.15 and 20 cents, subtract 5,635.39 and 96 cents. Okay, so they would be saving $19,775.24 with the offset option. Okay, moving on, it says that, or the question asks, a couple could have used their inheritance to invest in a term deposit or pay a lump sum off the principal owing on the loan. State one advantage of using an offset account instead of one of these options. So you can just choose one of the options to compare it against. So for example, with the offset, there is no offset account, no interest, no tax payable compared to the investment account. And the other option, I guess, advantage is that if you looked at the lump sum, is that and even with the term deposit, because with the term deposit, your money is usually sort of needs to sit in there for a set term, is that with the offset account compared to the other two, is that they can access that $10,000 at any time. $10,000 at any time. Okay, and that's compared to both options. All right, calculate the couple's outstanding debt after they had the offset account for 6 years. All right, so now based on having money in the offset account for 6 years, we're going to head back into the finance function here. Okay, the outstanding debt, so we're looking at 6 years. So N is now 6 times 52. The present value is what they had owing at the start of those 6 years at the start of when they put the money in the offset account. And we already had that value down here. So this is the number we were using. So $981,731.99, which we already have in our graphics calculator here. Okay. So 281,731.99. I forgot to put the interest rate. So the interest rate is still, we're assuming 4.5%. PMT, we're assuming, is still $373.92. Future value is what we're trying to work out here now, with PY and CY also remaining at 52. We're assuming. So based on that, what is the future value after 6 years of the money in the offset account? Okay, all we need to do is change N to 6 times 52. Okay, and calculate for the future value, which suggests that they have a debt, okay, of $235,150.80. Now, the debt there obviously doesn't include, the money that they've got in their offset account, because that's essentially being paid against the loan, although it hasn't been paid off of the loan yet. They're not being charged interest on that. The next question actually just says to, if the couple close the offset account and spend the money on holiday, what is their new outstanding debt? So that's just going to be the debt that we just worked out there of $235,150.80. We're going to add the $10,000 from that offset account back onto that debt, which gives them a new debt of $245,150.80. All right. Calculate how long it will take the couple to pay off the outstanding debt. So now we're working out N again based on all this. So N is our unknown now. The interest rate we're assuming is 4.5%. The present value now is this amount here. Okay, so 245,150.80. And PMT, we're assuming, remains the same at minus 373.92. The future value we want to be 0, PY 52, and CY 52. Based on all that, how many more weeks do they need to pay it off? All right, so let's just go and change that present value to 245,150.80. PMT remain the same there. Future value set to 0. PY and CY both 52. So what is the value of N based on all that? It will still take them approximately 968.62 weeks to pay off that loan. Okay, it doesn't ask for years, so you can leave it like that, or you can obviously divide that by 52 to get the number of years. But yeah, in this case, it just says how long. Well, 968.62 weeks. All right, that's it. A bit of a tough question, that one, but yeah, question 8 from the 2018 General Math exam. Thanks for watching.